So, we feel great about where we are today with what we wanted to accomplish in the summer, in the fall, and in the spring training. Well, the season's about to start, so we'll hand the ball to Justin Amlung, and hopefully he'll set the tone and, be ready to run out there in the first inning. The reason we're in the top 25 in a lot of polls, I think, comes down to first the 4 seniors. We have 4 special seniors, as I mentioned: Amlung, Tingle, and Self. 3 pitchers. All 3 were all-stars in their summer leagues. 2 of the 3 have been drafted before. All 3 have had a lot of experience and success. Tingle's sort of the newer guy because he'd only been here 1 year, junior college guy, but Amlung and Self had been here for several years. And so the 3 pitchers add great leadership and experience on the mound. And then Stuart Imes, 5th-year senior. Stuart's had a lot of success in his career. He's had some ups and downs, but he's mentally tough, been through the rigors of a college baseball season. So to have an old guy like that in the middle of your lineup, 4 special seniors, 3 of them have been drafted already. I believe all 4 will get a chance to play pro ball and should go out and have a lot of success this year and a lot of success in pro ball. You look at our junior class, they mentioned we brought in 3 junior college position players to add some depth to that group. And so we feel that the junior class will contribute in a lot of areas this year. The sophomores, you have to center your team around the sophomores. Those were the guys that we threw to the fire last year. You had as many as 5 freshmen starting at a time. You had several pitchers that started and pitched key roles, and Thompson and Green and Kime and those guys. So Iggy, Sturgeon, I'll probably forget a guy or 2. There were so many freshman position players and pitchers that now as sophomores, they're ready. They're ready to lead. College baseball, you got to grow up quick. I don't have time to redshirt you, and I'm not going to get you usually for 5 years. I get you for 3 in a lot of cases. And so if I get you for 3 years, then I got to throw you out there and get you ready, and you got to grow up quick. And so those guys did. Those guys grew up quick and finished well right into the conference tournament, and then they had banner summers, that group. And then the freshman class, I think, is the highest ranked class we've ever signed. And so we don't say their names day in and day out, but we know behind the scenes these guys are going to play. I think the pitchers are going to get the first opportunity because there are talented freshman pitchers. And then there's some position players in there that they'll get some opportunities here and there. But the nice thing is you don't have to lean on the freshman hitters like we had to lean on a lot of those guys last year. That's usually the toughest thing, is those freshman hitters are just not used to struggling. They've never gone 0 for 4, struck out 3 times in a game. They've never had the slumps that they experience when they get to college. So we'll slowly work some of those guys in, but like I said, the good news is we're going to rely on the older hitters at the start of the season. So, that's where we're at right now. But, as I mentioned, goal number 1 is to win a national championship. The reality is you got to revert down to goal number 7 and say, okay, let's be able to win the first inning. Let's be able to throw strikes, make all the routine plays. Let's get some timely hits, and let's manufacture runs. That's where we struggled last year, was obviously manufacturing runs. But, it wasn't always the player's fault. It was all of our fault. It was just our system wasn't geared to manufacturing runs with the way the bat was playing. Our system was a little more geared to hit the ball out of the ballpark and hit doubles and things like that. It just wasn't coming as easily as it was in the past. So, we're ready to manufacture some runs. I love stealing bases. The year we went to Omaha, I don't know if people realize we were 2nd in the country in total stolen bases. And Boomer Whiting was either 1 or 2, whether it was stolen bases per game or in a season. I think he had 73. So we can steal. And I've coached many teams in the past that have stolen bases. So, we'll bunt a little more, but we're not going to bunt maybe like Texas and some programs like that. And we'll steal bases, but we might not steal like Coastal Carolina or schools like that. And so the goal is to have balance, to be able to manufacture runs through the bunt game, through the running game, hopefully through the double in the gap, or hey, I'm still going to be the biggest fan of the 3-run homer. It's just not going to come as often as it has in the past. So we're looking forward to getting out there and playing against another opponent.